dumbass.
Well, it was here yesterday.
Life can be really strange. I fought the Nilfgaardians a few years back. Now we make camp with the Harkons.
That's politics. What's it to us?
Now look what you've
Have
done.
our seed. Take an interest in things. Or it will turn out like the mill in Stilton.
Better to ask the way than to go astray. Easy come, easy go.
Bad chance of Henselt and Shillard inviting us to their meet.
Well, well, a witch. How can I help you, handsome?
I'll come back later.
Are there trains here?
Aye, there are.
And you don't mind?
What's strange about that? Other lands have slizzards, drowners. We have trolls.
What about building bridges? And taking tolls under threat of harm?
Not another fucking stone.
I can't see it. Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
All right, I'll take part in your tournament.
The king will be pleased. Just remember, this will not be a fight to the death.
I'll try not to forget.
Duels take place from noon to dusk. You'll find me by the arena then. Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for...
Can we start the tourney?
Duels take place from noon to dusk. You'll find me by the arena then.
Hello?
Straw for brains.
What? Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
Can we start the tourney?
Ready?
Who will I be fighting?
Your opponents will be Gwydion, Rendag, and Boran. Interested to know who they are?
Who's Gwydion?
One of the top fencers in the Kedweni army.
Who's Rendag?
A very experienced soldier. He's fought in all of Henselt's campaigns for the past 20 years.
Tell me about Boran.
Boran's famous for his courage. He fears nothing and no one.
Their names are enough.
Ready?
What are the rules?
2 adversaries fight until one of them yields.
That's it?
The loser is out of the tourney. Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin then. Witcher Geralt of Rivia will now fight the Honourable Gwydion. yield. Witcher Geralt wins! You won. Let me know when you're ready for the next fight.
All right.
Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
Can we continue the tournament?
Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin then. The Witcher will now take on the Honorable Rendag. I surrender! Witcher Geralt wins! You won. Let me know when you're ready for the next fight.
All right.
Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
Can we continue the tournament?
Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin then. Die! Geralt of Rivia will now take on the fearless Baron.
I yield!
Witcher Geralt wins!
Is there not a single fucking soul in Kedwin able to beat the Witcher? Dung-filled cowards, all of you!
Apparently not in Kedwin. But in Temeria, perhaps. I'll give it a shot.
That could be interesting. If you win, I'll double the reward.
The Witcher's challenger this time will be Vess, a maiden serving in an elite unit of the Temerian army.
I surrender!
If you more like him when I could conquer half the world, give him the prize! He's earned it!
The king wanted a spectacle and he got it. A shame the result was so predictable.
Witches are not invincible.
Seems this one is. But you were brave nonetheless.
She fought harder than all the Kedweni soldiers combined.
You're very kind.
Wasn't so kind in the arena.
He took me seriously.
That's true.
Thanks for not giving me a handicap. I'm going back to my camp. Visit me if you want.
Women. Here's your praise. I need to get back to my business.
Thanks.
Oh my god!
I'm done with this cursed place. The bloody comet, square coins, and that ark. Oh.
Not another fucking stone.
Elder and the recruiter.
Greetings, Geralt.
Greetings, Vess. What news from the Blue Stripes?
They're keeping their eyes open, as always.
Henselt thinks he'll take Vergen easily.
A regular army will always win against a popular uprising. I know this, Henselt knows it. I don't understand why Saskia doesn't.
Maybe she'd rather die than surrender. Or she has a surprise in store for Henselt.
Possibly. Henselt keeps the precise plans of his campaign a secret.
Why haven't you set up in the Kedweni camp? Information becomes more available the closer you get to the source.
Henselt doesn't trust us and I don't blame him. If not for this damn fog, we'd have moved even further south.
We've lost the assassin's trail.
The trail led us here. If it goes no further, the assassins must be in the vicinity. I see two possibilities. Either Henselt hired them, or he's their next target.
We'll find out soon enough. Could Henselt himself be behind the assassinations?
You don't think it's possible? Consider the Pomtar Valley. Temeria, Kedwen and Edirn have been disputing it for generations. Only now, Temeria and Edirn are kingless.
True. Henselt might profit from the deaths of Foltest and Demavend, but covert assassinations aren't his style.
I suppose you're right. The Kedweni king seems to love a good war. Just take a look around. Perhaps that's his ruse. When the cheese goes missing from the larder, no one thinks of blaming the cat.
I wanted to thank you. That was a great fight.
The only great fights are those I win.
It's no dishonor to lose to a mutant created for swordsmanship.
If it wasn't a tournament but a battle, we wouldn't be speaking now.
You were better than all the knights of Kedwen put together.
You're very kind.
I'm sincere.
A rare trait. Perhaps I should take advantage of this opportunity.
Since we're being honest, I'd like to have some wine with you.
With pleasure.
I wasn't expecting you to agree. This was your chance to get back at me.
I have no need. In truth, I'm grateful to you.
Interesting.
I was sure you'd go easy on me. Then I'd have told you to bugger off. But since you took me seriously, I have some Toussaint wine in my tent. Could I tempt you?
Lead the way. I learned more about you from that duel than from all our conversations put together.
I'm curious. According to Geralt of Rivia, what is Vess like?
She's ambitious, honorable, and beautiful.
In that order?
What if I say the reverse?
If you think I don't like to hear compliments about my beauty, you're very wrong. I'm a soldier, and it pisses me off when I'm viewed as a pair of tits atop an arse. But I'm also a woman, and like every woman, I have my needs.
In that case, let's drink to your needs.
I fulfill my needs differently.
Then what do you want to drink to?
To us?
I didn't know there was an us.
Better to live a day as a king than a life as a beggar. First we'll drink the wine, then we'll go to bed.
Can we do it the other way round?
He was slaughtering pigs at the time, so he takes a pig's eye and puts it between his buttocks.
He does what?
Puts a pig's eye in his arse. The elder and the recruiter enter, and the mother says, "Son, they've come to take you to war." And he's standing with his back to them, his pants down. He spreads his cheeks and says, "I can see that."
Did they take him?
Not a chance.
In the face of possible disaster, they tried to draft entire villages in Byway.
Cruther are coming for you. He was slaughtering pigs at the time, so he takes it.
Life can be really strange. I fought the Nilfgaardians a few years back. Now we make camp with the Black Ones.
That's politics. What's it to us?
We should have our say, take an interest in things. Or it will turn out like the mill in Stilton. The one the smith from Jailmouth took over when he married the miller's widow.
Not another fucking stone. Witcher. What else am I to do? This mist's driving me crazy.
You nuts!
Relics, artifacts, trinkets and talismans, hallowed and highly valuable.
I found footprints at Sabrina's execution site. Do you know anything about that?
Why would I? You found them, not me.
Yet your boots are black from ash.
Shh. All right. What do you want to know?
Do you remember the sorceress Sabrina?
Same as all the others. Looked like a young nympho, with an old hag inside. You want to talk about her? See that freak who burns candles?
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Sure I did. I was in the 5th Company. I remember the commotion when that idiot Yahon killed her with a spear. If only I had that spear now.
Where's Yahon's spear now?
I don't know. Besides which, it's none of your concern. I simply won't talk about that.
You know Yahon?
Never heard of him. Where'd you get the idea that I know him?
Do you remember the curse that Sabrina placed on the king?
When they set the stake on fire, she shouted something to the king. His face went red, but I couldn't hear very well. She probably foretold his syphilis. A gruesome death.
I'm interested in objects that belong to the soldiers who perished in the battle 3 years ago. Not any old things. They have to be magically active. I know how to check.
That's not my speciality, Witcher. I deal in relics.
Do you remember the sorceress Sabrina?
Same as all the others. Looked like a young nympho, with an old hag inside. You want to talk about her? See that freak who burns candles?
So long.
Damn it! This is a brothel, not a military camp.
I am Myron, Master Apothecary in King Henselt's service.
Geralt.
Geralt. Provenance and profession known only to him, so be it. How can I help you?
I want to stock up on herbs and medicine.
Got a prescription?
prescription?
I jest. We have supply shortages, so I can only sell you certain medicaments.
Godspeed.
Good luck with whatever it is you do.
I'll gladly see a mutant's body. Need not be living.
Hello. Something's brewing.
A bit scared of going against the Saint. The enemy have fed you their propaganda. Ah! Greetings. I've no bloody idea who you might be, but I hope you're a civilian.
What? Surprised to see a dwarf on human leash? Got a well-thought-out slur ready and waiting. Go on, surprise me.
You're a little tense.
Tense. That's a good one. I, odd-looking human, am a prime mercenary, a sapper. I'm not tense by definition.
A sapper?
Not that kind of sapper. I build field fortifications and war machines. I can fucking throw a boat bridge across a river in half a day. Digging ditches is relaxing, that's what I meant.
Got any spare parts from those war machines? The decommissioned ones, of course. I need some to make monster traps.
Sure. Why wouldn't I? If I do.
Get a hold of yourself, soldier. Greetings. A super soldier serum, or what?
Pretty please. Leave.
Looking for coins. What else am I to do? This mist's driving me crazy.
When the prophet Nebiul passed to the sheep, tax collectors.
Here to visit your old friends?
Just looking around. You?
A lengthy stay in Henselt's camp, and one is likely to become somewhat Kedwanized. I'd like to avoid that.
Rightly so. I wonder what Sheila's doing in Henselt's camp.
You're not alone, because she's wondering what you're doing at the king's side.
How do you know?
She asked me about you.
What did she want to know?
I have no idea. I realized right off she was sniffing, and told her she could smell my fingers if she wanted. That'd be all she'd get.
And she gave up.
Mm-hmm. See how careful I am?
Heard anything about Letho?
They say he's hiding in the ravines. He's not alone.
I know.
I fail to comprehend exactly why you have it in for him. He escaped, so what? You're no king, and as such are hardly in danger.
I'm tired of having to explain that I'm not the Kingslayer.
Hensel believed you.
But he's still not sure, and I don't want him doing me any favors.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'll decide once I've heard him out, learned the truth. Maybe I'll see his point, or maybe I'll just cut off his head. My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have two women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I'll find Triss as soon as I've dealt with the assassin.
What about Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her. Have you tried to, approach Vess?
I've thought about it. On the one hand, I've never rogered a soldier, but on the other, the cling clang of steel against steel at an intimate moment could put off even the most attentive lover. Why do you ask?
I just like to know.
I heard you dueled each other.
You heard right.
You came out on top in the arena. Maybe you should try her in another setting.
Could be interesting, I guess.
Really? You slept with her?
Mm-hmm.
And how was she? Spill it!
Well, there was no cling-clang of steel. Henselt's camp is abuzz with rumors about the events 3 years ago.
When you burn a sorceress at the stake, rumors spread faster than the seed of a lascivious berry.
I know you primarily value sorceresses for their firm busts, but I'm curious. What do you think of Sabrina Glevissig?
Sorceresses complain about feeling underappreciated, persecuted even. But let me tell you, Geralt, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If they didn't meddle, they wouldn't be burned at the stake. They keep whining about the horrors that took place on Thanet Island, about the order of the world being destroyed. But let me ask you, who brought that about if not them and their scheming?
I had a mate from Rivia, but they killed him.
As
I don't know why I'm
paid.
telling you that.
Legal advice.
Seems we'll be slaughtering squirrels again. Surprised. They have a hand in every rebellion, every evil cause. A super soldier serum, or what? Out! Thieves and bandits everywhere.
How are you?
Greetings. Greetings?
Whoa!
I've no bloody idea.
Didn't have
what
anyone
greetings,
like you
but
in
I
our
hope you're a
village.
Civilian.
Here yesterday. Thanks for your help, Witcher. We were in a tight spot there. The Rotfiends are multiplying like rabbits. We were on our way to see the Visionary, bearing gifts and all. But I'll be damned if I'll take one more step that way. Wouldn't be on your way to see him, would you? If you are, give him this coin for us. Do what you will.
Quick! You'll be safe here.
Wonder how many more return.
Over here, inside the candles. Quick! You'll be safe here. Over here, inside the candles. Quick! You'll be safe here. Over here, inside the candles. Quick! You'll be safe here. We're safe here. I awaited them. They were to come bearing gifts. I heard their cries. Guess they were attacked. If they're not here, they must be dead.
No, they're alive. They didn't want to risk it anymore, went back to camp. They asked me to give you this coin for candles.
This is but half. Why, I'll not do more than braid some wicks for this. What do you want from me? I'll not believe you came here by chance.
Yeah, you're right. I need to learn some things, and few are willing to talk. Sabrina Glevisig's story, that's what interests me most.
Listen, I'll not speak with you until I get my coin. Pure and simple. Though I do provide charitable help to the faithful, if you were to become one of them. Wonderful! That's about right. So tell me, what's on your mind?
You must know a lot about Sabrina Glevisig's death.
Sabrina the Martyr left the world of the living to protect us all.
Why the candles? What's the difference between Sabrina and other mages burned at the stake?
Others were strong in life. Her power bloomed when death wrapped its steely arms around her. She took the soldier who ended her suffering under her kind care. He never had to fear walking alone in the dark again. Have you seen the area? It's full of beasts and monstrosities. Yahan, the merciful soldier, has walked in the blaze of our power ever since. No creature born of darkness can get close to him.
Now, back to some other matters. Tell me again what you know about Sabrina.
What exactly do you want to know?
Did you hear about the curse Sabrina cast on the king?
Of course. A well-deserved punishment, a ghostly spell from her crimson lips. The king concocted a cruel fate for the sorceress, humiliated her, made her suffer the flames. Bound to a wheel and placed on the stake, she suffered in a way unimaginable to ordinary humans. But when the flame reached her maiden waist, not a single cry could be heard, only words foretelling King Hensel's imminent demise. Let a shooting star split the heavens and mark its mortal journey with a braid of blood. Let fools be duped by the sight of fish scales, turned by magic into square pieces of gold. Let the unicorn violate 1,000-year-old rules, prompting a just punishment. Sabrina suffered so badly that a merciful soldier ended her torment, thrusting his spear into her aching heart.
Any chance of finding that spear?
It was so long ago, Witcher. But I believe the spear went to another soldier. The bugger sells relics from Our Lady by the Camp Inn.
I know who you mean. Now, back to some other matters. Who are you?
Our descendants will decide who we were when they see what we've left behind.
Is Yahan still around?
Yahan is dead. He didn't deserve to bask in the glory of the Lady.
So Sabrina's mercy has limits.
You don't know what you're talking about, Witcher.
The valley's been engulfed by a battle of specters. Know anything about it?
It's a place of horror.
You can still hear the sound of steel and the cries of the dying. If you want to soothe their pain, you have to believe that Sabrina is watching over you benevolently.
I won't achieve anything without some memory tokens. Magically active conduits left by those who fell in battle. They're supposed to symbolize faith, courage, hatred, and death.
Faith? I don't know what those soldiers believed, but their faith didn't help them. They were deceived. Courage, hatred, and death. There was too much of all of them, especially death. But I remember a knight who, ignoring the danger, led a handful of soldiers against overwhelming enemy forces. Seltkirk of Gullet, Demaven's champion. When Vandergrift's cohort cut him off from the rest of the army, he attacked the visitor fearlessly. If you're looking for a symbol of courage, find Seltkirk's armor.
Who were you before?
What does it matter? Let the sins of youth fade into oblivion. Look at the candlelight. Feel it, and you'll hear what it has to say to you.
I can't hear a thing.
Then you're not ready. But your time will come. You will then hear and understand. Trust me.
Why do you need so many candles? Why not build a campfire?
This is Sabrina's flame. Its light protects us and guides us soldiers every step.
Did you rob a convoy of wax sellers?
I make the candles myself. I give them to anyone looking for protection within the flame of courage.
So long.
Come on!
Not another fucking stone.
I'm a bit scared of going again. may have fed you their propaganda. Ah! What if she's truly... Don't worry about it. The Witcher will take care of everything.
Relics, artifacts, trinkets and talismans, hallowed and highly valuable.
I know you have the spear Jahan used to pierce Sabrina's heart.
I told you about that, and I thought the old freak was trying to forget the sins of his past.
I need that spear.
Tough luck, Witcher. I last saw it a few years back.
What happened to it?
Look how similar we are. You want knowledge, I want coin, and we both need help to get what we want.
How much?
What are your customary takings on a contract? I'll gladly accept but 1/2 of that.
Tell me about her.
After all, business is going well. You see, when Jahan lost his head for Sabrina, I bought the spear from the innkeeper. The donkey's ass pawned it in the inn. He drank like a fish. By then, Jahan had already hidden in the hills where no one dares to venture. Some call him the Visionary, but in my book he's just a nutter. Beats me why the beasts don't attack him. A fisherman who supplies the canteen said that some monsters hate the smell of fish oil. Jahan makes candles out of it.
What did you do with the spear?
Sorry to say I lost it in a dice game. Shame, because today it'd fetch a good price. I lost the spear to a soldier who later fought the squirrels in the forests of the Pontar Valley. He told me he'd used it to kill some Scoia'tael big shot. I heard the shaft cracked as if there'd been some fucking jousting tournament. The most interesting thing is that big shot is still alive. I heard he's now with that vixen from Edirn. Some frigging commander. Elves are weird creatures. Who knows, maybe he still has that spearhead.
Yorvith.
You know him?
I'll tell you for 100 orens.
Bah!
You know Jahan well?
He despises me now, but things used to be different. We were called up at the same time. We fought under Hensel together. But I managed somehow while he hated it. Why did they send him to that ferocious battle? He was the worst dumbass in the entire army, but he outlived the best soldiers. Covered in shit, piss, snot and tears, and still he survived. He cracked when they burned Sabrina. A beautiful end to a fucking beautiful day. Then he went to the dogs. He pissed away all he had on drink. I was the fool who followed him and brought everything he pawned around the inns. That's how I got the spear.
So long.
A super soldier serum, or what?
I'm done with this cursed place. Bloody comet.
The whole camp's gone berserk looking for the coins. Grown lads with their arses in the air.
Not of the human
Spoiled
kind.
my day.
Bloody.
I've got to get through the mist, or I can't lift the curse.
I shall supply the white flag when you set out as our emissary. The lass is reputedly honourable. She'll welcome you, invite you to a feast, and with a bit of luck you may even plough her.
You're sick, Deathmold.
They say she's very pretty. Peasant girls not to your liking?
Not your concern.
In case the elves lack an understanding of diplomatic symbolism, please also take this armor. With His Majesty's blessing, I might add.
A king's concern can be boundless when his life depends on that of another.
I spent some time working on this recently. This little marvel will guide you through the fog and provide a measure of protection from the spectres.
Thanks. I need magic powder to mark out the runes.
Are you aware that the formula requires powdered camphor resin?
I am.
Then you must also know that the resin is extremely valuable.
Get Henselt to pay you. I need the powder to do the exorcism, reverse the prophecy, and release him from the curse.
You should have said, I'll give you as much as you need.
Thanks, on the king's behalf.
I've one more thing you might find useful.
What's that?
You asked me for protective runes. I've done better. Take this grimoire, which details many. I believe there's even one for syphilis. I've marked my recommendations.
Thanks. You must know a lot about the Wild Hunt, as one of the reigning majesties among mages.
I simply cannot concern myself with folk tales about corpses flying about on intensely emaciated steeds.
The Wild Hunt's no myth. Spoken to the king yet?
Indeed, he was delighted to hear he can be cut from the curse.
Great, because I need the medallion of the priest known as Crest. I heard it's in Henselt's possession.
He'll give you nothing until you free him from the curse. Truthfully, I believe I understand him. You have a good chance of perishing when you confront the Draugrs.
Give me a break, Deathmold. The two of you are just afraid I'll leave this entire mess in your hands.
Ah, that is something I do not fear at all, for I know exactly why you're here. As for the king, you may curse him and scold him and call him a fool if you wish, though it's not something I would advise.
Does the name Vincent Trott sound familiar?
A traitor. He did some damage in my ranks. 1 dead and 2 still in the field hospital. If you know where he's hiding, I've some issues I'd like to discuss with him. The tools are already in the fire, but the rogue seems to have donned an invisibility cap.
I believe he has Seltkirk's armor, one of the artifacts.
My investigation's at a dead end. I know not where he is, and I'll soon need to resort to more radical methods.
Hold off a bit longer. If he escapes...
There's no way to do so. My people guard the ford, and I doubt our brave Vincent could make it past the spectres. He must be nearby.
Learn anything new about the curse?
A mage on the other side of the fog is also probing the battlefield. A sorceress.
How do you know?
You shall know them by the fruit of their spells. Magic differs with the brain type that generates it. The female mind is simply laid out differently.
It could be Triss.
No, Witcher, it's someone far more powerful.
I think I know how to free the king from his curse.
Well then, let's get to work.
Can't do anything until I have the spear the soldier stabbed Sabrina with. Problem is, it's in the hands of a Scoia'tael commander named Yorvith.
I know this Yorvith. Are you certain this is the spear?
Mm-hmm. I last saw him back in Flotsam.
Yorvith is in Vergen, Witcher, along with most of the Scoia'tael from the area. They've joined that peasant girl's insurgency.
Yorvith part of a peasant uprising? It doesn't make sense.
There's only one way to confirm or disprove it. You must cross to the other side of the mist. What of the other artifacts? Do you know them all now?
There are 2 others in Vergen. The Sword of the Visitor and the Standard of the Dun Banner. Why is Henselt still breathing? He killed the priest. Why didn't he burst like a ripe tomato under a dwarf's heel?
Perhaps Glevissig wishes Henselt to wait for imminent death.
I don't think so. I know a few sorceresses. They're mean, true, but they also want results. Sabrina cast the curse while roasting at the stake. Not the most comfortable circumstances. I suspect she botched something.
Are you suggesting Henselt may be safe?
I'm suggesting he could be saved, provided we cut him off from the heart of the curse, the Battle of Spectres. It's the weakest link.
How could we do that?
I don't know yet, but I suspect I could summon Sabrina's ghost and force her to free Henselt. First, I need to learn the circumstances of her death. If I'm not mistaken, you need blood to cast a blood curse.
Precisely, unachievable otherwise.
Sabrina was bound to a wagon wheel. Where did she get enough blood?
She put a spell on a soldier who gave her a coup de grace. It was easy, the minds of some soldiers are so uncomplicated. Sabrina needed one of them to strike her, shorten her suffering, but complete the curse. However, this is where she erred. That whore performed miracles, gathered the power, got the prophecy and activator right, but fell flat on her face on the simplest thing at the end.
Don't get so excited.
She chose a fool, a bungler. I heard he thrust 5 times with his spear, yet the witch's soul would not quit her corpse.
There was no one guarding the pyre?
It was one of the guards the sorceress chose for the task. His comrades were irate. He spoiled the show for them. The king was no longer anywhere near.
In any case, blood flowed and the curse took root.
Yes, but the harlot got her due.
See you.
Philippa Eilhart and Sabrina Glevisig. From Mandrake, Seaman, and Brimstone in the belly of a man. As such, she is an unnatural being, the enemy of men.
Good to see you, you old rogue.
Why the long face, Sultan?
Everything's fucked.
The only sight worse than a sad dwarf is the sight of a very sad dwarf.
I don't suppose you have any vodka?
I see things are worse than I thought.
I feel like a monkey in a cage. Those pricks act as if they've never seen a dwarf before.
If you need a change of climate, come with me. I'm on my way to Vergen.
You say that as if you're going to the brothel round the corner. Forgetting about the spectres?
I may have amnesia, but I remember the curse.
Well, all I get around here is non-human midget and the like. And I've dwarven brethren on that side. Sure as shit, I'll take Saskia over that prick Hensel too. You really willing to help me cross?
Of course.
You know, Geralt, I have a feeling that Vergen's where I should be.
I get you. Let's go.
How do you plan to get through the fog? Thought it was suicide to venture into it.
Deathmold gave me a protective amulet.
Throw it out! I wouldn't touch anything belonging to that dick.
The magical potential of the talisman will cause a local interference in the astral projection, creating disharmony where the 2 dimensions of reality meet.
Meaning?
The mist should part to let us pass.
You should have put it like that to begin with, instead of all that crap about astral bodies. I'll go with you. Thanks again, Geralt.
tough crossing ahead of us, Sultan.
Scare me now? We're going, and that's that.
See the path. The amulet is guiding us.
How many more can there be?
Guess they'll never learn.
Fucking fog.
Look at it this way. You'll be able to brag about seeing the ghostly fog from the inside for the rest of your life.
I'll brag about how I ploughed 3 wenches at once in my youth. Kill him! Adon! Stop! You're making a mistake!
A mistake? Interesting. There's a war on, don't know if you've noticed. And wars are won by killing foes. Or do I have it all wrong?
The Witcher's a messenger. On his way to see Saskia.
Not your typical messenger.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but we had to pass through an atypical fog in which your typical messenger would have shit just before he...
Enough! We'll not let you inside Vergen. But you can deliver your message to the commander of the watch. He's stationed by the town gates.
Ploughing typical elf. Come on, Geralt.
Why, it's Geralt of Rivia and Zoltan Chive. Pinch me, Burden, for I believe I've dozed off while on duty.
Could be an illusion, eh? Or some spectres from the battlefield have lost their way. Maybe we ought to tickle them with an axe, just to be sure.
I'm afraid there's no mage out there who can conjure up the Witcher's mug, nor the aroma of Zoltan's beer-soaked beard.
Yarpin Zigrin! Lice eat me if I'm not delighted to see that horrid mug of yours.
This lad here's scaling Burden. Geralt, what are you doing standing there as if you swallowed a halberd? Got a hug for an old mate?
Greetings. Triss has told me a lot about you.
Wee Marigold? Ha! How is the lass? Let me tell you, Scalen, this here Witcher's the very embodiment of chivalry. All the Seltkirks of the world can't hold a candle to him. And you know why?
No, but I got a feeling we're about to find out.
Me? A knight? I'd sooner call Zoltan a show dancer.
Well then, listen everyone. At the time, we were escorting Caedwene army convoys through the Sherwood forests. Aye, we served Henselt once, though all was for coin. Anyways, the Witcher was on the road as well, with Triss and Ciri, heading south. The lass, I tell you, was a demoness incarnate. Pure pepper on her feet, and healthy as a horse. But the sorceress fell ill. Some terrible pestilence held her, gave her the runs. The woman needed to go every 5 minutes. Never seen anything like it. And I've had my share of gut rumblings. This one time, I roasted an old ailing gerbil and...
Oi! You promised us a chivalrous tale.
And I'm delivering it, lad. In any case, the Witcher would carry her into the bushes time after time. He treated and cared for her, cleaned her, bathed her.
Sounds normal to me. A man looking after his woman. It's too much to call it chivalrous, Yarpin.
Ah, wrong. Triss weren't his woman. Not his wife nor lover. She was sick and in need of aid. And he was on a secret mission. Might have left her in some city, might have gone off on his own, but he didn't. Know why? Because he's got a heart of gold. He truly cares. A lad like you, Scalen, don't know that being a knight's not just about thrashing around in full plate, a long sword in hand. It's not just about fighting duels and winning tournaments.
Damn! I missed hearing your bullshit, Zigran.
I don't believe anyone else has tried to tell me that story.
How is the wee Marigold, anyway?
Not great. The Kingslayer kidnapped her.
Oh, damn the dogs! That's downright terrible.
I suppose it's no coincidence you're here.
I have to see Saskia.
To what end?
To dispel the mist of wraiths, I need a few magic artifacts.
What's Saskia got to do with that?
Her sword is one of those items.
And what do you suggest I do? Yorvith and Saskia banned us from letting strangers in. And here are 2 old mates come over from the other side who want just that. A lose-lose situation if ever I've seen one.
That ought to be easy to get around.
Cow pies ought to be easy to get around, yet we don't always succeed.
I'm staying here, Yarpin. I want to join you, enlist. Will you have me in the Dwarven Brigade?
Will I have you, Chiefy? Will I plough and have you? Why, I'll make you fucking commander, you cocksucker! Problem solved. Scalen, you're my witness. Zoltan's no longer a stranger.
Aha.
All right. Now I'll introduce you to Saskia, and you can try to clarify the story with a sword for her. Or whatnot.
Don't you fret about the sword, Geralt. I promise to ascend to the fucking heights of oratory. Be soft as a mink, cautious as a novice strumpet. I'll get you that blade if I have to shave my beard off.
All right then. See that, Scalen? We were headed for a tragedy.
Now we're headed for a comedy.
Ah, youth these days, lacking hope and heart. You know what Zoltan and I saw at Brenna, lad? To us, there's no such thing as the impossible.
Any idea where I might find the Dun banner?
Try the Netherworld. The whole unit was cut down during the battle 3 years ago.
I meant the unit's standard, which symbolizes death.
Ah, that makes it a lot easier. We buried it with the remains of the Kedwenis.
Where?
Just outside Vergen. I'll mark it on your map as the road could get confusing. Strange things are afoot in those crypts, Witcher. Kedweni ghosts scaring off our folk. That would be normal since they were invaders. But one's some kind of amateur historian, asking all that venture there about the battle and the Dun banner.
I'll look into it. Thanks. Triss could be somewhere in this area.
The plague. I've not seen her 5 years, must be. Since that day they proclaimed you dead. Last saw her in Rivia, in any case.
From what I've been able to establish, the Kingslayer forced her to teleport the 2 of them to this area, and she's not on the other side of the fog.
What did this Kingslayer look like?
A huge, bald witcher. Wears a medallion with a snake on it.
Sorry, Geralt. Doesn't even ring the tiniest bell, any of that.
I might know something. This drunk in Vergen claims he saw a redhead fall from the sky somewhere among the ravines. And then he said the sorceress Philippa Eilhart came around looking for this woman.
Shriveled old minx.
She sent her servant and some peasants to the ravines after her. but they came back empty-handed. Now Philippa's serving maid's gone, leaving the sorceress angry as a wasp. She even turned one of the plebs into a pig. I spoke to one of those peasants. He claims the lass was no servant, but an Nilfgaardian agent, and she apparently found something in those ravines. Maybe it was Triss, and maybe it was that witcher. Mara Milehart, or the old minx as Yarpen calls her, knows she's been duped and can't forgive herself for it.
Did the woman flee south, deeper into Edirn?
Fucking hell! She came out the main gate not more than an hour ago, headed straight for the fog. Thought she might be out to do some magic probing or whatnot.
She knew a bit of magic. She might have crossed.
I guess I need to visit Shillard when I get back. How's Yorvith? Any chance I might run into him?
Minimal. He follows Saskia around like a once-neglected pup. Eyes on her at all times.
At least the lass is well protected. What do you seek from Yorvith? Last I heard, you weren't exactly chummy.
You heard right. But when I last saw him in Flotsam, he had something I need to lift the curse.
Even if you see him, I doubt he'll give you anything out of the kindness of his heart. Perhaps Saskia can convince him?
Guess I don't have much of a choice. It's nice to talk to you all, but we've got things to do.
Ah, that's life. Open the gate! I've got to fetch me a certain sword.
Wait a minute. If by some miracle you obtain that cursed blade, I'd advise you not to parade it out the main gate past the squirrels.
Got another solution?
There's another passage. I'll mark it in the Witcher's map and show you myself. Sound all right to you?
It does. In the meantime, I'll look around for that flag.
Prime, I'd say.
Off we go then.